Good evening. Welcome again to our program, Women to Women. I'm Carol Paz, your hostess, and we have a very special lady that I'm going to introduce in just a few moments. But first, I'd like to thank our sponsors for this first half, Villa Basque Deli and Cafe, home of Pete's famous Basque chorizo right here in Carson City, as well as Carpa Nevada LLC, importer of fine Portuguese olive oils, balsamic vinegar, and international health teas. So let's welcome our guest, Kimberly Burchiel, who is the Executive Director of the Community Pregnancy Center here in Carson City. And Kimberly, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Carol. It's a pleasure to be here.
You know, some ladies are really hard to get a hold of. You're one of them, okay? You're busy as Executive Director, I know. Kimberly, will you help us understand, first of all, where you're from originally, where you grew up, and what were some of the things that you enjoyed doing as a young woman?
Well, I grew up mostly in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area,
okay,
in the San Jose area. And as a young woman, I started working quite early, 15 or so, and worked with horses, actually, in my early life. And then after high school and working, having my own business, actually, for a while, then I decided to be a radio broadcaster, and so I did that for a while, and that took me up to Lake Tahoe, and I met my husband in South Lake Tahoe, and when he became a teacher, we moved down here to Carson City, where he teaches here in the public school system here in Carson City.
So you have been in Carson City for approximately how many years?
21.
Long time, long time. You know, let me back up just a moment. It's interesting that I think horses are a favorite animal of many young women. I don't know why that is, but there is a real bonding. Are you an accomplished rider? Did you ever show the horses? Did you ride with the horses for show events, or you just loved them?
I was an instructor. I rode and taught horseback riding.
And what did you learn from all of that? I mean, it's an area.
I'm sure there are a lot of things, but it was 35 years ago.
Okay,
so.
But you know, kind of what I'm thinking is this. Sometimes when we are working with animals, they are some of the best teachers because they force us to really listen to them, to pay attention to their needs, and in return, they often give us just undivided attention and undivided love. And I think that's a really important part of growing up, is to have a responsibility like that towards a pet.
Sure.
And the care and the maintenance of that pet teaches us a form of discipline and commitment that we're going to be able to use later on.
Right. I suppose the main thing I learned is a work ethic.
Yes.
I mean, I learned very early. Like I said, I began working at 15, and so I learned a very strong work ethic.
What brought you into radio broadcasting?
Oh, that's a long story.
Okay. But it's interesting in the sense that I have been in radio probably not as long as you.
No, probably much longer. I really only worked in radio for a few years, out in Colorado and in South Lake Tahoe. And then I moved on from that.
Okay.
So
what were you doing in radio? Were you interviewing? Were you giving news? Were you watching the sports? Were you announcing sports?
Oh, I was a disc jockey some. I was mostly a news broadcaster.
Okay. So when you came here to Carson City, and your husband is a teacher in the public school system, what brought you to the attention of the Community Pregnancy Center?
Well, that happened just more recently. I've been at the Community Pregnancy Center for 6 years. 5 years. I'm just starting my 6th year now. Okay. And I was actually approached by the board of directors to fill a position when the then executive director was retiring. So they approached me and asked me if I would consider the position.
Well, there must be some pretty special talents, abilities that you have in you, because I'm assuming that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but an executive director has a lot of responsibility toward the organization itself and conveying the message of the organization to the public.
Right.
Now, what is the purpose of the Community Pregnancy Center here in Carson?
Well, the Pregnancy Center, the Community Pregnancy Center exists to help women and families that are in the situation of an unplanned pregnancy, and to give them help and support and help them make life-affirming choices. And so we're a place that we offer compassionate, non-judgmental information. And so it's really a place to come and get information on all of your options and to find out what are your options and what can you do. And hopefully we can help them, make a life-affirming choice. But that's really up to each individual woman. And so we provide free pregnancy tests, and we can do all of our services. We are a nonprofit. First of all, let's back up a little bit. We are a nonprofit organization. So we are a 501c3. The organization was actually incorporated as a nonprofit 30 years ago. So we are celebrating, in March, we marked our 30th anniversary of serving this community. And we serve not only Carson City, but Gardnerville and Lyon County out into Dayton. And we have clients that come from Reno and certainly from the lake. I think the furthest that I know of would be even down in Bishop. Or
California. Which
one is further? Is Mammoth or Bishop? Well, either way, we've had people come from both of those areas also. So all of our services are free and confidential. And so everything that we do is offered for free, and we're able to do that because of the support of our community. So this organization has been supported entirely by the community for the last 30 years. We take no government, whether it's state or federal, so we have no government funding at all.
So you have no government or state, so to speak, ties.
Right.
Okay. You're free to charter your own path with the community. Okay.
Correct. And so we are supported entirely by individuals, businesses, and churches in the area.
All right. Now, there's a lot of confusion, and I'm sure you're aware on the part of the public and on individuals as to what it is that a pregnancy center can help you with. Okay, if you're having a pregnancy and it's something that was a surprise to you, unplanned to you. Now, are you part of Planned Parenthood?
We are not.
Okay. So this is independent
Yes.
of any state or federal agency, as you've indicated.
Yes.
All right. What makes you different from a state or a federal agency, so to speak, in terms of what you can offer to a client? Is there any difference at all?
Well, what we can offer is, like I said, services for free. So we can offer, and maybe some federal agencies can do that because of their federal grant money.
Right,
I don't
right.
know.
Okay.
Really, I can't tell you that.
Okay.
What I can tell you is what we do.
Yes.
I can't tell you how we are different from any other organization. I can tell you what we do provide.
Okay, what I'm thinking of is this. For women who are listening to the program, and for men who are listening to the program, we're not talking about Planned Parenthood. We're talking about a nonprofit local community service for various clients of their ages, circumstances.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Unplanned pregnancies happen across all socioeconomic lines. So all age groups, any woman that's of childbearing age, and across all socioeconomic lines. So
and married and unmarried.
Yes, and married and unmarried. Exactly.
Okay.
That's correct.
Things have changed a lot since I grew up in the 50s and the 60s. And probably they have even changed in your lifetime too, because there are a lot of families who need advice. There are a lot of individual women who need good, stable, sound advice. And what I heard in your support system here, it's through the city organizations and through the churches. So you have support of churches as well.
Right.
Okay, and that's a very special branch that comes in there, because sometimes women are not counseled or advised with any spirituality behind it.
Right.
And
That's
so
true.
so you do offer that, which can make a difference, a complete difference in a decision-making process.
Right. But also, there's many women, for whatever reason, that maybe wouldn't go to a church to get help.
That's correct.
Wouldn't even think of stepping inside of a church door.
And to back that up, 70% of Carson City is unchurched.
Okay.
So that backs up what you're saying.
So at the Community Pregnancy Center, we don't come at everyone that walks through our door is accepted right where they're at, with no judgment of how they got in the position. Yes, how they got there and why they're coming, or what information they want.
Right.
We offer them information, factual, medically accurate information on all of their options, and so it's a good, safe place to come and get information. And find out what are all the facts.
All right, now who
and
makes
then
it,
make your decision.
For example, take myself, okay? Let's pretend, okay, I'm 35. And I am I'm married, I'm finding myself pregnant. And I would like to have this child, but I haven't planned it. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I have a health issue at stake. I have diabetes. Acute diabetes. Now, we're pretending, I really don't, okay? But let's say, on your staff, who makes up your staff? Are there physicians? Are there nurses? Are there medical technologists that also offer input into the health of the woman who's coming there?
So most of our coaches that would help them at first are volunteers and not medical staff. I am not a medical professional myself. But we do have a nurse practitioner and doctors that are volunteers as well. And so they are scheduled at certain times to come. One of the other things that I was going to say, another service that we offer is a sonogram. So we can do, it's called a limited OB sonogram. So limited in scope is what that means.
What does it tell the woman?
It tells her whether or not it's an intrauterine pregnancy, meaning a viable pregnancy, and it tells her the gestational age. So how far along is she in her pregnancy? And those are done, only by medical professionals. When a girl or a woman comes to us to do the pregnancy test, it is a urine test, so we don't draw blood, we don't do blood draws. We would, if they want a blood draw, we would give them a referral to where we would tell them where in town they could get that and where they could get that for the best price and those kinds of things. So we have all kinds of resources that we can also help her with, places that we can help her get the information that she needs. But our tests are in the range of upwards of 99% accurate. They do read their own test, and then we schedule them to see either our doctor or our nurse for a sonogram. After that.
So let's stop right there.
If they have a positive test.
Positive. So let's stop right there. Come back, and we'll ask some more questions of Kimberly, because this is kind of sometimes it's a controversial area, sometimes a very comfortable area, and we want to make sure that we get some more information that's correct. So join us in just a few moments.
Hi, I'm Stephen Lincoln with CarsonCityHomes.com, Carson City's original online real estate resource.
At CarsonCityHomes.com, you get effective and easy-to-use tools to help you select your next home today. With our easy-to-use website, you can search listings throughout Northern Nevada and narrow the results by selecting every facet, quirk, and quality you desire. Visit CarsonCityHomes.com.
Apex SCF provides cutting-edge, hands-on training that effectively addresses today's threats of violence.
The Apex Stay Alive course teaches proven methods for personal protection and attack countermeasures that can be applied in any environment. In your home, at the workplace, or on campus, Apex will teach you the necessary skills to stay alive, including how to recognize and react to an active shooter scenario.
If you knew you had to fight for your life tomorrow, would you train today? Contact us now to sign up for a class in your region.
Blast into summer with Carson Nugget's $1 Million Red, White, and Blue Summer Giveaway, where we are giving away scooters all summer long. And with daily free play giveaways, cash bash weekends, outdoor barbecues, and more. Come in today to heat up your summer.
Welcome back to the second portion of our program, Women to Women. Again, I'm Carol Paz, your hostess, and we're here with Kimberly Burchiel, who is Executive Director of the Community Pregnancy Center here in Carson City. And before we get back to Kimberly and the last of our discussion, I would like to thank our sponsors for the second half of this show. CarsonNow.org, the place to go on the internet, online for the latest breaking news here in Carson City, as well as Apex SCF, who trains and educates in the personal and corporate safety for our own protections, as well as the Nevada Appeal and the Record Courier, who always encourage us to shop locally, support their small businesses, and look for their books of coupons in their special Sunday editions. So let's return to Kimberly. Kimberly, again, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
And Kimberly, we left off with kind of a hypothetical situation. Now, if a woman finds that she is pregnant through your testing and that she does want to carry that baby, what does she do after that point? What services, how do you lead or guide her?
Well, we have, we part of the time that she's with us and getting her information, we are just learning about her and her situation so we can help her the best that we can and point her in the direction that will be the most help to her. So what resources does she have? Does she have insurance or does she need Medicaid? And we can supply her, you know, with referrals for whatever she needs. We can get her up to the help her, you know, find the Medicaid office and then get her, help her get over to the MOMS program, which is a great program here in Carson City for anyone that is on Medicaid. That is where they would go for their prenatal care. And we are familiar with the resources that are up in Reno or whatever community around here that she's in so that we can help her get the resources that she needs. And then at the Community Pregnancy Center, we have a program that is just a wonderful program. She can begin taking classes from us from the point that she finds out that she's pregnant. So starting very early in her pregnancy, and she can actually stay in classes with us up through the toddler years of her baby. And so she can take classes once a week. And with every class she takes, she earns baby bucks, and then she can spend those in the baby boutique. And so we like to help the girls that come to us, the women that come to us, not just with the information. That's important, that first part of being there for them when they're in that place of a crisis and wondering what they're going to do and needing to get that information. But once they've made their decision, then to help support them and be there for them with friendship, but also just that emotional support, but also with material support. So with every class she takes, she earns baby bucks, and she can spend those in our baby boutique. She can get diapers and wipes and clothing and maternity clothing. We have a beautiful brand new crib in there right now. Everything in the baby boutique is donated again by the community. And we really only take new items because they are working, they are taking classes, and they are learning about their pregnancy and how to be a parent. If a woman already has children, she can still enter into that program. She can maybe learn some parenting techniques for her older children. So she can still enter in and have access, you know, have the baby bucks and be able to spend that in the baby boutique to get those items that she needs to help her get over that hump, that financial, you know, hump of what it is to take care of a baby.
Okay, so what I hear you say is a very positive approach to helping women of any age who are in the childbearing years.
Right.
Okay, and coming to you is such an encouragement for them, I would think, because they already, or they're about to learn very quickly, that this is a support group for the pregnancy, for the mother. Now, let's say that the woman decides not to carry that baby. What happens?
Well, the Community Pregnancy Center does not provide abortions, and we don't refer for abortion.
Okay.
And so if she chooses to terminate her pregnancy, that is something that we can't help her with specifically, but we can specifically help her with all the information regarding abortion. So we do give her the factual information, and many of our clients come to us for that purpose, to get that in a safe place, to be able to look at all of their options and not feel judged for looking at all of them. And so she can come, she can get information on abortion procedures and risks and that information, but we don't provide them an abortion, and we don't refer for abortion.
Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. But I also think probably in many, many cases, how you present your center and the services available really gives a woman, regardless of her age and at the stage of the pregnancy, hope.
Yes.
Hope.
Yes.
That what she feared or what she did not want to hear can actually become a blessing in her life.
Right.
Through new friendships, through a very strong support system,
Yes.
and can give birth to a very happy and loved child.
Right.
Loved child.
Many times a woman may say, well, I'm not ready to be a parent, or I don't know how to do this, or it's overwhelming. But when they come to the center, they find that they have the support that they
Yes,
need,
that
that
they
we're
need.
there for them.
And every woman needs, if she's 18, if she's 28, if she's 38, and in some cases like my mother, 42, you need that support.
Right.
Because you're at a different stage in each one of those life cycles. And things have happened to you. You have emotional memories as well as physical memories. And it's great to know that you're providing that. There was one thing, Kimberly, that kind of surprised me. My first question is there an average age of the woman who comes to that you've noticed? Are they primarily between 18 and 25? Are they sometimes, is the average age older than that?
No, you hit the average age. If you're, just looking at the average age,
right.
it would be in that span. That
18 to 25.
Yeah, in there.
Okay.
But certainly women older, certainly women younger.
Okay.
So yes.
And I also noticed, as I talked with you before the show, I'm an avid reader of lots and lots of books, and a lot of it pertains to the health of people, health of family, of individuals. And I was just recently noting that one of the statistics that kind of popped out at me, 41% of all babies born in the United States are born out of wedlock, as compared to 1980, when 18% of all babies born in the United States were born out of wedlock. So it would seem to me that you have a bustling community center much of the time. And I'm not sure exactly why that is. Sometimes there's societal trends.
Right.
Women have deferred having babies quite often until later in life. And even though their biological clock is ticking, and it's about to stop, some of them still choose to do that. So for whatever reason, you are providing a magnificent service for a community. And I'm sure that some of these mothers, do you have any kind of a personal experience that you can say, we watched this woman go through this entire pregnancy, and she's now on staff, or she's now one of our best advisors. Anything like that ever happen?
Oh, we have wonderful, wonderful stories, and we actually have some of them on video that are willing to share their story. But one brief story that I can tell you is of a young woman who thought she and her boyfriend suspected they might be pregnant, and the day that they were going to find out was Mother's Day, and that day he was murdered. And so when a friend brought her, she called a friend and said she thought that she was pregnant, but she didn't want to do this without him. And her friend said, I know of a place and I want to take you there. go there first. Come with me. And it took her a while to come in through our door. Her friend brought her, but she was just 2 days out. It was Tuesday, and that had all happened on a Sunday. And she wasn't sure she wanted to come in, and finally her friend convinced her to come in. She didn't want to be judged as just another pregnant teenager. And she did come in, and she told us later that she knew the moment that we wouldn't judge her. She knew when that changed in her mind, and she said she knew that we would not judge her. And she said that was when we were so concerned for her and her. It was just an amazing, just her whole life, what had happened and coming. And she said the moment that we stopped and prayed for her, because we knew that she was in such a crisis at that moment.
Yes.
And today she has a beautiful daughter who's about 3 years old now, and she works, and she's going to college. She wants to become a nurse, and she's doing wonderful, and she's thriving.
And isn't that such an important lesson for all of us, is not to be judgmental. We're all imperfect. We all make mistakes.
Yes, we are.
But we can allow those seeming mistakes to turn into blessings. And I think that the power of prayer that you give within your community center has to move lives and has to change lives significantly. Oh, it's wonderful. That's a great story. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I want to say thank you for being here, because you've opened up a whole new arena of information.
Yes.
And there are those of us, like myself, a more mature woman, who did not even know that this pregnancy center existed until I met you one evening. And to be able to share a positive place to come that can help suppress or get rid of entirely the fears that you have inside of you, because you know that you have caring, compassionate, non-judgmental people who are going to walk you through this. That's everything. That's everything. So thank you so much, Kimberly.
Thank you for the opportunity to be here, Carol.
Okay.
It's been wonderful.
Looking forward to seeing you out there in the center.
Yes.
And in the community. Okay?
Right, yes.
All right. And thanks to our audience so very much for being with us tonight. We look forward to seeing you next week with a brand new special lady guest. Until then, have a good evening. Good night.
Hi, I'm Genevieve Frederick, founder and executive director of Pets of the Homeless.
Pets of the Homeless is a nonprofit, all-volunteer organization that provides pet food and veterinary care to the homeless and less fortunate in local communities.
We're a national organization with over 200 collection sites across the United States, one in Australia and a few in Canada. Our national organization, since 2008, we've collected almost 50 tons of pet food that has been distributed through various organizations across the country, like food banks, homeless shelters, and soup dining rooms. With donations from the public, we are able to provide these kinds of wellness clinics across the country. Since 2008, our wellness clinics have provided over 2,500 animals with shots and medical care.
I'm Dr. Woody Allen. I'm a semi-retired veterinarian in Carson City, and I have worked with the Pets of the Homeless for about 4 or 5 years now. And when Genevieve Frederick started the program, our hospital was the first hospital to help her with collecting dog food and finding people that needed our help. On this website, you'll be able to find sources where you can get food on a regular basis if you need it.
With donations from the public, we're able to provide homeless shelters with crates, bowls, cleaning materials, so that homeless with pets can come into homeless shelters and get the services that they need to get out of homelessness.
If you are in need of food, supplies, or services for your pet, or would like to donate or volunteer, visit petsofthehomeless.org.
Celebrate your patriotic spirit this summer with the Carson Nugget $1 Million Red, White, and Blue Summer Giveaway. We are giving away scooters all summer, and the whole family can join in for outdoor barbecues. Come in today for your share of $1 million in cash, free play, and scooters.